Hi there. So with the announcement that Sapper wasn't going to reach version 1.0 and that instead there's this new Svelte kit, basically Svelte will kind of inherit all of these Sapper features, I started looking into server-side rendering, pre-rendering, and kind of how I could maybe do this on my own. So Sapper for me, by the way, you can keep using Sapper. It's great as it is, and just it won't be growing in the future, I guess. But the two features I liked was the file-based routing and this npm run export, which builds all these HTML files that I can just upload to Netlify. So I wanted to look into how I could maybe do this myself. So I started looking into pre-rendering, server-side rendering, and I realized I was sort of confused by the difference between these two. So basically, server-side rendering is when the user comes to your site, hits the server, and then the server builds HTML and sends it back. So the server is actually, the HTML file isn't sitting there on the server. It's has to be built by the server and then get sent back. Whereas pre-rendering is the HTML file has already been built. It was built on like the build step when you're developing, and the HTML file is just there sitting for you, waiting. So for example, here I've got my pre-rendered index.html. So it has this app pre-rendered like this directly into this index.html. So if you come here and look at the source, you'll see that it's already here when I retrieve it from the server. So normally if it were client-side rendered, then this would not be here. It would just be this JavaScript bundle that would render it onto here. And if it were server-side, it would also look like this, but it would happen, it would be built dynamically, you could say. Okay, so I have this here too, document.body.innerHTML equals none. So when you pre-render, it doesn't have any functionality. So if I remove this here, for example, just get rid of that and refresh, okay, you'll see I have two of them. So basically I have a pre-rendered version, which has no functionality, doesn't do anything. And then I have a client-side version that does have all the functionality of normal Svelte app. So let me put that back. So basically what I'm doing is I'm serving this file for SEO reasons, so it's easier to crawl. But then once this gets loaded, it immediately hides it, and then this is deferred, so it runs at the end, and this will be mounted and replace this right here. Okay, so there's probably a better way to do this, but this is just seems to be working. So this is just a simple example. I haven't used this for bigger projects, so just kind of follow with caution. So what I have here is a prerender.js, and what this is this part of the doc server-side component API. So basically, I'm rendering this component on the server. I'm pre-rendering it, and then I'm writing it to the index.html file. So it's fairly simple, fairly straightforward. Basically, you need to require svelte/register. This allows you to require a Svelte component like this. So I just require it like this, .default. So I get this component, and then I run app.render on it, and I get this object back, which is result. And that has three things. It has result.head, it's got result.css, .code for the actual code, and then result.html. So you'll see here they got inserted right here. This was the result.html. This right here was the result.css.code, and then this right here was the head. So that all gets pre-rendered, and this can be served directly to the user when they hit the server. Okay, that is about it. So what I did here, package.json, I changed it so build, first it does node pre-render, and then it does the normal rollup stuff. And then here I have start, it just runs build first. So yeah, that's about it. There's also compiling, and it was a bit confusing for me. I didn't quite understand fully what was going on. But you can look into that too. So this only works for this simple example. So basically I just have this app and it imports this other component, hi, which has some dynamic, you can click this and then it shows this or not. If I turn this to false, then I can pre-render it, or so like this will be ignored. So right now that hi is right there, but if it's false and I redo this, so this builds, so first it runs pre-render, and then let's see if we can see it. Yeah, so now it's not there anymore because it's set to false. Okay, that's about it. I hope this was helpful. I'm still kind of playing around with it, trying to figure out how all this works. I'll do a video on compile time as well once I figure that out better. Anyway, let me know if you've used this, if pre-rendering seems helpful. Basically, what I want to do is have these routes and be able to pre-render them so that I have like good for SEO, and then I want to be able to also have file-based routing. So I'll see if I can figure that out, and let me know if this video is useful. Please like, subscribe. Thank you, and bye.